These are the 10 most notorious record companies in music history.
Number 10. This label launched some of the biggest early rock and roll careers. The name? Sun Records, founded by Sam Phillips. Sam Phillips is a rock and roll pioneer, but his legacy has its darker sides. He built Sun Records on the backs of black musicians like Howlin' Wolf and Ike Turner, many of whom were underpaid, underpromoted, and later pushed aside in favor of white artists like Elvis Presley. Marion Keisker, the woman who first recorded Elvis, later said she felt like a slave working under Phillips.
Number 9. Founded in the late 1950s by Bob Keane, a label called Delphi Records. Under this label, Ritchie Valens recorded La Bamba just before he died in a plane crash in 1959. The day the music died. Another artist, called Bobby Fuller, recorded briefly with Delphi before moving to Mustang Records, also founded by Bob Keane. He scored a hit with I Fought the Law, later covered by The Clash. But in 1966, his rising career was cut short when he was found dead in his car, under mysterious circumstances. At the time, Fuller was renegotiating his contract and exploring other opportunities. Some speculate that a financial dispute with Keane, who was known for aggressive business practices, may have played a role in Fuller's death.
Number 8. This label was a pop and R&B powerhouse, but also involved in scandal. Jive Records. Jive was known for signing some of the biggest names in music: NSYNC, Britney Spears, and the controversial R. Kelly. Despite hard evidence that Kelly was involved in sexual misconduct and exploitation of minors, Jive continued to work with him for years, even after the allegations became public. The backlash against Jive intensified after R. Kelly's conviction in 2021 for sex trafficking and racketeering. Kelly eventually was sentenced for 30 years in prison.
Number 7. Known as home to one of R&B's greatest groups, this label was also the center of a scandal, T-Neck Records, founded by the Isley Brothers. In 2006, Ronald Isley, the group's lead singer, was convicted of tax evasion. The total amount of money he was accused of was reported to be around $3.1 million. Ronald Isley served a 3-year prison sentence for the crime, and the scandal cast a shadow over T-Neck's legacy. He was locked up from 2007 till 2010. Ronald's legal troubles made it hard for people to see the label as a flawless part of the music industry.
Number 6. A legendary soul label, house of Otis Redding and Isaac Hayes. The label? Stax Records. The IRS began an investigation into Stax's finances after their security guard, Johnny Baylor, was stopped in 1973 in the airport carrying $130,000 in a suitcase. As a result, co-owner Al Bell took a bold step and sought financial support from Saudi Arabia. He struck a deal with Saudi King Faisal, who agreed to fund the label's debt as a gesture of support for black economic empowerment. But in a cruel twist of fate, the king was assassinated by his nephew just days before their meeting. Then, in 1975, Al Jackson, drummer with Booker T and the MGs, was shot and killed execution style in his home. The murder was never solved. All these events eventually lead up to the bankruptcy of Stax in 1975.
Number 5. This label helped define the sound of blues and early rock and roll. Chess Records. Founded by Leonard Chess, Chess Records was a major player in blues music. To impress new artists, the label often gave them a Cadillac upon signing. However, legends like Chuck Berry, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, and Little Walter later sued the label for millions, accusing it of withholding royalties and mistreating them financially. Many cases were settled out of court or left unresolved when the label shut down in 1969. Leonard Chess offered his own blunt defense. "We were dealing with blues artists. 80% of them were drinking. There was a lot of yelling and fighting. You could give them $2,000 on Friday, and they would be broke by Monday. Then they would come in and say, "You fucked me. Where's my money?"
Number 4. This label produced classic pop and rock and roll hits, Roulette Records. Its founder, Morris Levy, once said, "I don't make deals with people who don't understand the street." Morris Levy had ties to the Genovese crime family, led by the notorious Vito Genovese. His connections to the mob were well documented in FBI files and investigations. Tommy James signed with Roulette Records, but was unaware of its ties to organized crime. While hits like Crimson and Clover topped the charts, James saw almost none of the money. He later claimed Levy withheld $30 to $40 million in royalties. When James once asked about the missing money, Levy smirked and said, "You'll get it in the next life."
If you guys and girls like to see more top 10s like this, like and subscribe to Boys Next Door.
Let us know in the comments if we missed your favorite record company.
Number 3. The founder of this label is considered one of the most influential producers in the history of pop music. However, his personal life was marked by violence and extreme behavior. Phillies Records, founded by Phil Spector. While producing Lennon's 1975 album Rock and Roll, Spector reportedly pulled a gun on Lennon during a recording session. Lennon did not blink an eye and said, "If you're going to kill me, kill me. But don't mess with my ears, I need them." In 1977, while recording with Leonard Cohen for the Death of a Ladies' Man album, Spector put his arm around Cohen, pointed a pistol at his chest and said, "Leonard, I love you." Cohen responded, "I hope you do, Phil." But it wasn't until 2009 that his criminal activities were fully exposed, when Spector was convicted of the murder of actress Lana Clarkson. Clarkson was found dead from a gunshot wound in Spector's mansion. As his defense, he claimed it was a suicide, though the evidence clearly pointed to murder. Spector was sentenced to 19 years to life.
Number 2. This label became tricked in violence and tragedy. Bad Boy Records, founded by Sean Diddy Combs. Other than being closely linked to the East Coast-West Coast rap feud, which eventually led to the deaths of Tupac and Biggie, a lot more happened around this label. In 1999, a nightclub shooting in New York City involved Diddy and rapper Shine. Shine took the fall and was convicted, while Diddy walked away untouched. In 2022, singer Cassie Ventura filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of years of abuse, which was eventually settled out of court. In 2024, CNN released disturbing surveillance footage from 2016, showing Diddy assaulting Cassie in a Los Angeles hotel hallway. That same year, he was arrested and indicted on federal charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting women across state lines for prostitution. Prosecutors allege he filmed assaults and ran a network that exploited young women. He pleaded not guilty and is currently on trial.
Number 1. This label became infamous for its ties to gang culture and violent business practices. Death Row Records, with the feared Suge Knight as its founder. In the early 90s, Knight allegedly threatened Vanilla Ice, hanging him over a hotel balcony to force him to sign away the royalties to his song Ice Ice Baby.
Ice, ice, baby.
In 1996, Tupac Shakur was murdered in Las Vegas. Many conspiracy theories and rumors have linked Knight to the crime. He was present in the car during the shooting, but was not injured. Later that year, Knight was sentenced to 9 years in prison for violating his parole. Nate Dogg, artist from Death Row Records, once said that he always carried a gun for protection when visiting the Death Row studios. In 2003, Knight served 10 months for punching a nightclub valet. Then, in 2015, Suge Knight ran over 2 men in Compton after a confrontation on the Straight Outta Compton movie set, killing one. He was later sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Thank you for watching. We are the Boys Next Door. We talk music.
Like and subscribe for more top 10s and other music videos.